problems and enhance both officer safety and public safety while allowing the Police Bureau to, in your words, Chief Reese, be at the forefront of best practices. As the United States Attorney outlined, we've been at this for over a year, and our focus has been on use of force issues, with a particular focus on interactions with people with mental illness or in mental health crisis. Our review was prompted by the high number of officer-involved shootings of people with mental illness. The investigation was driven by a single goal: to ensure that Portland is served by an effective, accountable police bureau that controls crime, respects the Constitution, and enjoys the trust of the public that it protects. Our investigation was exhaustive, and it was conducted by department attorneys, investigators, and subject matter experts, including a police practices expert, including a psychiatrist who specializes in working with law enforcement agencies to develop models for effective interaction with people who have mental illness. We conducted a thorough review of use of force by PPB officers, which included reviewing thousands of pages of documents and conducting an extensive outreach to the community through hundreds of interviews that I've outlined. We looked at a range of police interactions, including encounters with people who have mental illness or are perceived to have mental illness. And let me focus for a moment on the problem we identified. Based on our review, we concluded that while most uses of force were lawful, and let me underscore, while most uses of force were lawful, there is reasonable cause to believe that PPB is engaged in a pattern or practice of using excessive force against people with mental illness or those perceived to have mental illness. We found that encounters between PPB officers and persons living with mental illness too frequently result in the unnecessary use of force or in a higher level of force that was necessary. We further found that when dealing with people who have mental illness, PPB officers use electronic control weapons, or tasers, in circumstances where the use of tasers was not justified, or they deploy them more times than is necessary. Finally, in situations where PPB officers arrest people with mental illness or low-level offenses, we found that there is a pattern or practice of using more force than necessary in these circumstances. It is important, indeed imperative, I believe, to reiterate that the challenges we identified here in Portland are not unique to Portland. Police work has transformed dramatically in recent years. I remember vividly a Portland police officer who described how years ago encounters with people who have mental illness were few and far between. Today, that person pointed out, it is a daily occurrence for most officers, and oftentimes it is occurring more than once per day. Communities across the country are wrestling with how to deliver effective police services and public safety services to people with mental illness.